Listen, guys, the season 2 patch notes and Marvel Rivals just dropped, and there's a lot of crazy cool things to unpack. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. Captain America. Shout out to you, Captain America mains out there. But this actually isn't quite the buff it seems to be. So basically, Steve will undergo some adjustments to his survivability, leading to a slight decrease in overall resilience. Base health reduced from 675 back to 650. Reduce the shield value of Living Legend from 400 to 350. Now, flat out, it seems like a nerf to Captain America. Wait, hold on. Oh, these are the wrong patch notes. Fuck. No, these are the correct patch notes. Okay, these are the right ones. Okay, I tripped out for a second, guys. These are actually the correct patch notes. But the team up is where they're going to offset some of this. So basically, Cap's going back to 650 health. So small nerf to his actual health, but he's getting a new team up bonus on top of this. So this is actually buff because the team up bonus with him being the anchor for the new team up with Bucky. We'll talk more about that later, but he's going to get 100 health from that. So he's actually going to have 750 health, which is a buff to his health. Also, he's going to get a small 5% damage boost as part of that team up. Reduce the shield value of Living Legend from 400 to 350. So this might seem like a big buff because Captain America is basically becoming a thick boy with that 750 health pool. But that 50 reduction to his shield actually really hurts. Like if you're a true Captain America main, you pick up on these little nuanced situations. And this is actually nerfing a really unique synergy that's in this game right now that I don't think a lot of people know about. So basically with Captain America, as he is currently before Season 2 patch, you can dive in front of a Punisher turret, hold up your shield at 400 shield, and if the Punisher keeps firing, which a lot of them do for some reason, the shield deflects, even though only 50% of them hit and it's super inaccurate. If you're standing point blank in front of the Punisher turret and you hold up your shield, all those shots will actually delete that Punisher turret. But every time that happens, you only have a sliver of shield left. Like every time I've played, I usually go through like 380, 390, 375 of my shield. I don't have much left over. I think this might actually ruin that mechanic because I think now your shield will actually break before the Punisher turret breaks. And you're going to have to do like an auto attack or two. So I really hope you can still do that with Punisher turrets. But if you can't, that's going to be a huge nerf for Captain America. And the shield's what keeps Captain America alive when he's out in the open. That's how you can get away with all these crazy plays because you have the shield is kind of like your bailout as cover whenever you're out in the open. But the fact that this is 50 points less, I think that hurts more than basically getting another 75 HP because he was at 675. Extra HP is good. But when you're like the thing and you're out in the open and you're just a bullet sponge, the extra HP doesn't really matter unless you have a shit ton of HP because you get melted. The shield is the thing that actually keeps you alive, and that's what's getting nerfed. And that actually, I don't think this is overall a buff for Captain America. The 5% damage boost with the team up, that is like his auto attack does 40 damage. 10% of that would be 44. So 5% of that is like 2 extra damage on auto attacks, and then maybe like 3 on his shield throws, which are 45 damage. The biggest impact's going to have is on his Vibranium Changeslaw, which does like 70 damage. So you can see like 7 points of extra damage on that. So it's going to be a nice bit of burst damage for that ability. But I think for his paper punches, it's really not going to be that noticeable. And I don't think this is quite enough for him to be just, overall good. I think he's still going to struggle a little bit this patch, even though these seem like overall buffs as a Captain America main. These aren't really fixing the areas where Captain America struggles, and the shield, the 400 is already like barely anything. The fact that this is going to 350 is actually just, what are you doing? Don't do that to my shield. But enough about Captain America. So overall, while this seems like a buff, I actually really don't. Well, I mean, we'll see how tanky he is at 750. Maybe that offsets the shield and it's not a big deal, but I'm really like that 50 point of shield is going to be noticeable, like for me especially. But anyways, let's go on. Doctor Strange. Sorcerer Supreme will see a reduction to his offensive capabilities, limiting his battlefield control. Decrease the daggers of Denok damage from 18 to 16, so his main projectile, that's going to be pretty noticeable. So he's not going to be as much of an offensive menace. Reduce Maelstrom of Madness conversion ratio from dark magic from 1.3 to 1.2. What does that even mean? I actually don't play Doctor Strange. Conversion ratio from 1.3 to 1.2. So I think he won't get his AoE blast as often. So he's going to have a nerf to his auto attack, and his AoE blast won't damage as often. But I think he got a health buff somewhere in here too, because they want him to be more survivable, but not do as much damage. So it looks like a nerf to the cooldown for his AoE ability and nerf to his auto attack. So that's going to hurt a little bit for Doctor Strange. Hulk. Green Goliath will see a boost, enhanced maneuverability, and improved survivability upon entering combat. Increase his movement speed from 600 to 650. Huge. He's going to be even faster now. Reduce the cooldown of his guard from 12 seconds to 10 seconds. Huge. He's going to be able to use his shield more and be even tankier now, and decrease minimum charge time for Incredible Leap from 0.7 seconds to 0.5. So he's going to be able to jump around even more. So he's faster, jumps more, has more shielding. And the crazy thing about this is Hulk, to me, is already like high A tier, S tier, as is before these buffs. I think people just forgot about Hulk and people have just been sleepy on Hulk, but Hulk is already really good if you're really good at him. Now he's a mechanically advanced character. It takes a while to get good at Hulk, but if you get good at Hulk, you can just terrorize teams. And I think he's already good before these buffs. I think Hulk's going to be a menace this next season. This is going to be the age of Hulk, not Ultron. These are big wins for Hulk. Magneto. Master of Magnetism will experience a slight decrease in the frequency of his ultimate ability, increase energy cost from Meteor M from 3100 to 3400. It's going to be hard for Magneto to get his ults, which kind of sucks because Starlord can get his ult faster than you. Cloak and Dagger, whose ult Magneto's counters, always get your ult faster than you. So now the time is going to be so weird. It's almost like they're going to both get their ultimates before you can even use yours to counter. And you're going to get your ultimate halfway through their next ultimate. So you're going to be in these really weird situations where it's like, do I save my ult to counter their ults, or do I just pop my ult now? Like, that's going to be actually really weird for Magneto, because right now it already feels like you don't quite get your ult in time for the first engage, and you usually have to hold it for the second engage, because I play Magneto a lot too. But we'll just have to see how this plays out, and I don't know if they change any of the other ult timings. Penny Parker. Receive enhancements to her primary attack damage, efficiency, and booster survivability and combat capabilities. Cyber Web Cluster, her primary attack, now has a chance to crit, reduce movement speed penalty while firing from 40% to 20%. So basically now, when Penny's attacking, she's going to move a lot faster. She won't be slowed like crazy anymore. And her basic spam auto attack can get headshots and do crit damage. Oh my god. Increased base health from 650 to 750. What the what? Dude. Like, if you're really good at Penny, you can already be a menace in this game, especially on the maps. But now, like, she's just going to be some thick girl with crazy healing. And dude, I think the headshot multiplier is big for her, because now if you're like a good Penny and you struggle to carry with your games because you don't do enough damage, but if you're mechanically good and you're landing your headshots, you're going to be able to just carry games on Penny and just kill people like crazy. And then you can move faster while attacking now. These are huge wins for Penny Parker. I think I'm going to see a lot more Penny Parker this next season. The Thing. The ever-loving blue-eyed Thing will see a slight reduction in his damage reduction effect. Embattled Leap, reduction for himself and teammates from 30 to 25%. Okay, so you won't be as tanky when you dive in, and whoever you dive to won't be as tanky. I guess that's fine. Honestly, this is really good. Like, if they're going to nerf Thing, I'm okay with them nerfing that, because everything about him feels great. Some people say he's like overpowered, but don't touch my Thing, guys. He's my new main tank. Don't touch the Thing. But this is good. Okay, so I don't think that's going to be super noticeable. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm just glad Thing didn't get nerfed more, because he's in a really good place right now. Thor. Mighty Thor will receive an increase in survivability. Base health's going up from 525 to 600. Keep in mind, he did lose his team up, so he lost 100 from that. So this is just 75 more health. So this is actually a negative 25 HP debuff. So he actually only has 600 health instead of the 625 that he was having. Or was it 650? He had a lot of health with this team up. So they mitigated some of that by adjusting his health pool, which I agree with. Thor should definitely not have 525 health. That's like way too low for Thor. I increased his movement speed from 600 to 650, which is good for Thor. He's going to make him feel a lot cleaner. The last change they did to his cooldowns to where he can just spam his ability right after his Awaken Ruin, that made him feel overall more fluid. And even now, his movement speeds can be even a little quicker. So he's going to feel a lot better to use. And it's going to be a lot easier to stick to people with that movement speed buff. And also the new skin that dropped for Thor is sick. And I'm going to be playing a lot of Thor this season just because of that skin. Black Widow, duelist now. Natasha is receiving optimizations to her shooting experience. Added a new effect where Black Widow can directly shoot after releasing a second kick. of Edge Dancer or using her ultimate ability. I don't really know how this is going to play out, but I guess if you're like already really good at Black Widow, this is just 2 more chances to express your skill and get like a really good kill and follow-up shot. So overall, good to see that Black Widow's getting some buffs. She definitely needs them. Hawkeye is getting buffed. We're improving Clint's mobility by drawing his bow, enhancing his combat capabilities, increasing his threat of his ultimate ability, reduce the slow while charging bow from 30 to 20% during his ult, increase both instances of damage from hypersonic arrow from 50 to 55. I think that's a secondary fire. Decrease the energy cost of his ult from 3700 to 3100 and improve his draw speed from 1.35 to 1.5. What the heck? Hawkeye is already like secretly still slept on and really good if you're mechanically good at this game, but this is going to just make everything Hawkeye does way quicker, way smoother. We might see another Hawkeye hella meta. He might be a menace again. Oh, dude, is this going to happen? Are we going to have another Hawkeye hella meta? Because Hawkeye's getting buffed. And and Hella's getting changed, but to make her more of an offensive menace, we'll discuss here shortly. We might be back in a Hawkeye Hella. Is it season 0 again? Is it season 0? Oh my god. Well, we'll see what happens with this. Hella, the goddess of death, will see a reduction in mobility while slightly enhancing her offensive power. Increase the cooldown of Astral Flock, her bird where she can fly away, from 12 to 15 seconds. Increase spell field damage from Piercing Knight from 30 to 35. Those are like the mass, her secondary fire where it shoots mass amount of swords and they all explode. So increasing the spell damage from that a little bit. So not too noticeable, but cool. Decrease cooldown time for Soul Drainer from 12 to 10 seconds. That's her little stun that you almost never see Hella's using well. That's actually, I think she's going to be more of a menace. Like she can't run away as often. So if you die of her, she's dead in the water for 15 seconds after she uses her escape. But she gets her stun every 10 seconds now. So she might even have her stun so she can escape or get away still. And her other attack does more damage now. And she's already really good S tier right now in this season. Dude, it's going to be, it might be a hella Hawkeye meta again. Am I calling it now? Comment down below if you think it's going to be a Hawkeye hella meta, because I think it might actually be. Like, we're seeing some craziness, dude. Human Torch. Johnny's attack feedback and survivability are being improved to enhance his impact across various scenarios. Reduce the attack interval of Fire Cluster from 0.6 seconds to 0.5 seconds. The launch timing of the primary attack projectile has been advanced. Okay, so you can attack quicker. Increase the cooldown of Flaming Meteor from 12 to 15. So nerf to the cooldown time of his dive ability, but after releasing it, you get 75 bonus health, which will start going away after 3 seconds. Okay, that's going to be really good. I don't think he needed the cooldown buff, honestly. The cooldown nerf. I think 12 seconds was fine because he's really not played much and we don't really know what his potential is because we don't really see him a lot. But that 75 shield is very useful because when you ever use that ability offensively, you kind of put yourself in a bad spot to where you just die. And now if you use it to escape, you'll get that extra health so you can probably use it to get away. So that's a really good change for that ability. We'll see if they have to play with the cooldown times from it, but I think that actually might help him out a lot. Iron Man has seen some improvements. I'm actually excited about these ones. Slightly reduced his hitbox size. If you're already struggling hitting Iron Man's, it's going to be even harder now. So it's good for him for survivability. New feature, gain 100 bonus health when activating Armor Overdrive or Gamma Overdrive that will start to fall off 5 seconds later at a rate of 30 per second. That's nuts, man. If you've ever seen an Iron Man back in the Gamma meta where they just zoom in front of your face and just melt you with their little Gamma Doom Ray, that shit's nasty, especially if the Iron Man's getting healed. But now when he does that shit to you, he's going to get 100 extra health. Bruh. We're going to be seeing some crazy, like, and he got some minor buffs at the end of this last season too. So I think Iron Man's going to be cracked again. I think he's going to be secretly crazy. And this armor, like the extra 100 health, that's wild, man. You're going to see some crazy aggressive Iron Man's getting in your face now. Iron Fist. Lin will see an increase in his combat effectiveness versus Vanguard, a slight improvement to his ability, slight reduction in survivability when first entering the battlefield. Reduce bonus max health gain from Harmony from 150 to 100, but the fall off of the rate from 25 to 15%. Okay, so now you don't get as much shielding, but it's going to decay a lot slower for you Iron Fist players out there. Lower fixed damage of Yet Chi Kung Chi from 10 to 9, but increase the percent damage of the enemy's max health from 1.7 to 2.1. decrease the cooldown for his kick. That's his little dash kick that he does. So he's going to have more mobility, more consistency because his shields will stay alive longer. And now he's going to do even more percent damage to tanks. Like the damage got nerfed to 9. So he's probably going to be the same kind of menace around squishies that he already is. He's not like a crazy menace, but he's still going to probably feel like that same threat level. But 1.7 to 2.1% damage, he's going to be, he might legit just take over Wolverine's spot as like the tank shredder. This is a possibility. In the event that Wolverine's banned, I think we might see some Iron Fists coming into play to deal with tanks. Like, well, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see. Is Iron Fist gonna be a menace? He might be. Mr. Fantastic. We're enhancing Reed's capabilities while making some balance adjustments to his ultimate energy charge rate, adding I can't read today. Adding additional control ability and optimizing the release experience of his ultimate ability. Base health gone up to 375. Boost the damage from Stretch Punch from 60 to 65, from 75 to 80 while inflated, so flat out damage buff, flat out health buff. Flexible elongation. Enemies within range now suffer a 35% slow effect. Reduce the cooldown from 10 to 8 seconds. So I think they reverted the nerf they did, because I think this is the ability that they changed up to 10 seconds this last patch. But now they reduced it back to 8 seconds. And now there's going to have a slow effect on it too. What? Reduce elasticity gain from elastic strength from 30 to 20, while elasticity provided by Stretch Punch increased from 5 to 8 after entering inflated state. The bonus health provided to self has been reduced from 450 to 400. Okay, so the inflated state isn't going to be as strong. It's not going to be as easy to get to because you're not getting as much charge anymore. And then, well, actually, you're going to get more from your punches, but not as much from your regular ability. So you actually still might get this quicker. Oh, I don't know 100% all Mr. Fantastic's abilities, but this sounds like you're just going to get your ability a lot quicker. It won't be as strong, but you're going to get the inflated state quicker because now I think your basic attack punches are just doing way more. You're going to just go into the state crazily. And new feature, when he uses Brainiac Bounce, immediately gain bonus health equal to that gain when entering inflated state. Okay, so now you don't even have to be in inflated state to use your ult. You'll get that extra 400 health regardless, kind of like Storm. So I think these are huge wins for Mr. Fantastic. I think if you are already like pretty decent at the character, you might actually just be an absolute menace this patch with these buffs. This is a lot. These are some crazy sick buffs for Mr. Fantastic. Oh, dude, I kind of wish I played Mr. Fantastic now. Not gonna lie. Moon Knight. All right, the worst. Potentially the worst DPS in the game right now before this patch. We'll see what they're doing with him. We're optimizing Mark's Moonblade projectile bounce feedback while improving maneuverability, ultimate ability, and survivability. Increases dart projectile speed from 120 to 150. Moonblade effect. Gain 25 bonus health with each enemy hit up to a max of 100 3 seconds after the bonus health stops increasing and will start to fall off. So now Moon Knight, if he hits his alternate fire, he can get some extra bonus shielding, which is kind of crazy. So that's going to help him a lot with survivability. Speed up Moon Knight hook, pull up start time from 0.4 seconds to 0.15 seconds, up from 0.4 to 0.15. Okay, so his ability is going to go off super fast now. So he's going to be able to hook away and get out of trouble way quicker than he used to. And extend the duration of Hand of Khonshu from 3.5 to 4.5 seconds. Increase the number of talons generated in this period from 14 to 18. Additionally, the fall speed of the talons has been slightly enhanced, so it's going to be a little quicker and harder to get away from. A new damage fall off mechanic for spell fields has been added beginning at 1.5 meters from the center, reaching a maximum of 75% at 5 meters. So each talon's going to have a little damage fall off. So if you're not too close to it dropping, you're going to take less damage, especially if you're trying to escape. However, they are going to fall a little faster now, and this ult's going to last for 4.5 seconds. A whole extra second of the Hand of Khonshu? Dude. This is going to be a huge, big-ass zoning ult. Just wait and see. Scarlet Witch. We're reducing Wanda's survivability, but increasing her threat level against strategists and duelists while optimizing her ultimate release ability. Remove chaos control percentage damage while increasing fixed damage from 60 to 80. Okay. Didn't even know that did percent damage, but damage buff for her. Increase Chthonian burst projectile damage from 35 to 40 and spell field damage from 35 to 40. So extra damage for alternate fire, increase the cooldown of Mystic Projection from 8 to 10, and reduce phase state time from 2 seconds to 1.5 seconds. Okay, so now it's going to take longer for her to get her teleports back, and she can't teleport as long, so she won't be as slippery as she is now. Rework the slow effective reality of a rasher to start at 1.5 seconds instead of starting immediately, with a linear increase to a 35% slow over 3.5 seconds. So when her ultimate pops, you're going to move at normal speed for 1.5 seconds before you start to slow down. Dude, I think Wand is already a secret sleeper pick if you're really good at her, but now she's just going to be this DPS queen with not as much survivability. Starlord. Reducing Peter's damage and outfit efficiency, ultimate ability charge rate, reduce blaster barrage from 80 seconds down to 75. Sorry, not seconds, 80 per second to 75, and the fall off mechanics. Starting at 4 meters, maxing out at 80% over 8 meters. So basically, his little AoE thing that you can do to farm ult charge in the highest levels of play now, it's not going to be as useful for farming ult charge. Now it doesn't do as much damage and has damage fall off. Winter Soldier. Lowering Bucky's threat level against Vanguards, reducing the margin for error in his ultimate ability. Increase the cooldown time of Bionic Hook from 8 to 12 seconds. So now you have a little more counterplay around his hooks. So he can't spam it as often. And actually 4 seconds is a huge nerf to the ability because it was 8 seconds. So it's a 33% increase. But I think that'll bring him more in line with the other DPS because Bucky's been kind of a menace right now. Reduce base damage of Kraken Impact from 100 to 80, but lower the culling threshold from 20 to 15%. So basically, Ultimate doesn't do as much damage now, and also, instead of being at 20%, you have to be at 15% before you're like insta-killed. So, modest nerfs to Bucky. We'll have to see how this impacts him. I think he'll still be really solid. Wolverine, we're tuning Logan's rage acquisition rate and slightly lowering his control intensity over enemies. Increase rage gain from Savage Claw to points from... Okay, hold on. Increase the rage gain from 7 to 10... while rage gain from Berserk Claw has been decreased from 7 to 5, reduced rage gain from Feral Leap from 20 to 10, and from Vicious Rampage from 20 to 15. However, rage gain from taking damage has been increased from 3 to 5. Okay, so basically, overall nerfs to how quick he can get rage with most of his abilities, which means you can't just jump in, dive, claw him, and then get up to 100% rage and be shredding people. Now you're going to have to actually try to get a little rage first before you dive in and get 100% rage. So his damage isn't nerfed, just the speed he can increase his damage is getting a little bit of a nerf with all of this. So he's not going to be as much of a threat as quick. So there's going to be a little bit of this wind up time for him to build up rage. But also if he takes damage, he'll build up rage that way. So you can kind of, I don't know. We'll have to see how this plays out. I can't really tell. It's kind of gray. They're changing the ways you can get rage, but you can't get rage as much from his usual ways. Seems like a small nerf to him. But then, I don't know. The taking damage to get rage part, I don't know how much that's going to offset things. We'll have to wait and see. Reduce the time enemies knocked down after impact from last stand from 1 second to 1.7 seconds. 0.75 seconds. Oh God, I've worked all day today, guys. I'm a nurse. I just got off work. I'm making this video. Bear with me. But anyways, yeah, so whenever he scoops people up for his ultimate, he does like this mini stun on you, which is annoying because if you're the thing, even though you don't get picked up, you still get that 1 second stun. And that actually messed me up the other day. So now the stun time is just gonna be 0.75 seconds. All right, let's do the strategist and wrap up this video. We're going on 23 minutes already. My God. Adam Warlock. I'm sad about this. Adam has low-key been my new main lately, and he's getting a little nerf. We're slightly reducing the frequency of Adam's abilities and adjusting the healing provided by his ultimate ability after reviving teammates. Increase cooldown from Soul Bond from 30 to 40 seconds. Karmic Revival now restores 30% of fallen allies' max health instead of a fixed 100. Okay, so let's talk about the ult first. 30% of a max health. This is going to be good for tanks. Now they won't come out as squishy and close to death as they used to. Like if you ever revived a Venom and he comes in with 100 health out of his 800 health, he looks like he's just about to die. Now he'll get 30% of himself. So instead of 100, he'll get like 270, 280, something like that. So now he won't be as close to getting killed. But for the low HP characters, they're actually going to come in with a little less health, which is kind of okay because you can just spam your heal and just top them off really quickly. So all in all, I think this is a pretty good buff for his ultimate. At least regarding tanks. And that's usually when you want to pop Adam's ult, whenever a tank dies or your other support dies. And then increase the cooldown of Soul Bond from 30 seconds to 40 seconds. That hurts. Soul Bond's a really good ability. 30 seconds already feels like a long time, but this just means you're going to have to be more safe when you use your Soul Bond, because it's going to take so long to get it back. But because it's already 30 seconds, most good Adam players are already using their Soul Bond very sparingly. So I don't think 40 seconds might actually make that big a difference, even though it sounds terrible on paper. But in reality, you're not using your Soul Bond off cooldown. You're just using it at key moments in the game. And usually you can go 40 seconds between two big team fights, and it shouldn't be an issue. So actually, even though this seems pretty bad, I don't think this will be as bad as I'm thinking it is. Just what I'm thinking about it right now. Because when I read this morning, I was tilted. I'm like, not my Soul Bond. But when I actually really thought about it, it's not an ability you spam off cooldown, because it's so life-saving for your team. So I think this might not actually be a big deal. Cloak and Dagger. We're opting for the logic of this dynamic duo's ultimate ability, optimizing. After achieving Eternal Bond, the duration of the first 3 healing zones will no longer be calculated separately. Instead, they will remain active until the duration of the final healing zone ends, at which point it will be removed together. I guess she can stack her ultimates again on the first 3 zones? I don't really play Cloak, but that sounds like a buff for Cloak. And she needs it. Her win rate's kind of been down. Invisible Woman. We'll be fine-tuning Susan's protective capabilities to create a more strategic gameplay experience. Decrease the shield value of Garden Shield from 300 to 250. Not much to say there. Small nerf to Invisible Woman. She's been S tier and on the top for a long time, so just a small baby nerf for her. Loki. To balance Loki's influence in matches, we're making small adjustments to the frequency of his key abilities. Increase regeneration domain cooldown from 25 seconds to 30 seconds. So a small nerf on his clones, that ability that keeps everybody alive for like 5 seconds. Not really that big of a nerf for Loki, though. 5 seconds isn't too crazy. Kind of the same thing with Adam. I don't think this can really change things too much for him. Mantis. To emphasize strategy over speed, we're modifying Mantis's health and buff mechanics. Reduce base health from 275 to 250, so she's getting a little nerf to her health pool. Effects of Healing Flower and Allied Inspiration can be stacked up to a maximum of 16 seconds. This is kind of crazy. Literally, you can stack abilities up to 16 seconds, so you could just boost the fuck out of one of your dive DPSs, and they can go in and just be cracked for 16 seconds. You can spam heal someone a couple times to give them 16 seconds of sustained healing. Like, you can do that to a diver, and then they can just go in, and for 16 seconds they're having bonus health and damage. And even if Mantis is hitting headshots and getting her flowers back like instantly, this might low-key be pretty crazy for Mantis. We might start seeing some really weird dynamics unfold because of that amount of boost for that long a time. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see. This might be crazy. But Rocket Raccoon, the last hero. We got to talk about my boy Rocket. Rocket's healing abilities will see some adjustments to enhance team survivability while balancing his mobility. Decrease the healing area of Repair Orb Spears from 70 to 50. So a small nerf. It used to be 60 before they buffed it. So now it's down to 50. So the AoE healing is not going to heal as much, but added a new effect of one-time healing to allies hit. So if you actually aim it, now it's going to take a little more skill to use. They will get a burst 55-point heal, and the projectile speed has been increased from 4.5 to 7 m per second. So it's gonna the reduction's been increased from 4.5 to 7 meters a second. So it's not going to slow down as much, and it's going to still travel pretty fast and hit your allies and heal them. Oh, this is going to be pretty cool for Rocket, but we're going to see some crazy burst heals from Rocket now. This is going to be great. This is good. Extend the cooldown of Jetpack Dash from 6 to 10 seconds. Reduce dash distance from 10 to 8 meters. You won't have his jetpack as often, and you won't go as far when you have it. So you're going to have to be a lot smarter when you use your jetpacks. You can't just kind of spam it around like we've been doing. Now it's going to take a lot longer to get your packs back, which kind of sucks. Reduced CYA ultimate ability damage from 40% to 25%. So a little nerf to the damage boost, but added a new effect. During the ability's duration, linked allies will receive 100 bonus health per second, capping at 150. And this ability lasts 8 seconds. So for each second, they are going to be getting an extra 100 points of shielding. This is crazy. People in this ultimate are going to be pretty damn tanky right now. I saw some videos of people talking about this, thinking that this wasn't going to be like a crazy team saving ultimate, but low-key 100 shields a second for the whole duration of that ultimate. That's a long ass time. That's almost like a better Captain America ult, and Captain America's ult is already good for helping save your teammates. So this is going to be legit. capping at 150. So they stack up to 150. So that whole time, you're just getting these shieldings, and you don't lose it right away when you leave. It's going to decay at a rate of, after 1 second, you lose 75 extra shielding per second. So you have 3 seconds after you leave the radius, and then it's going to be a higher charge to use the ultimate, 4,000. Dude, Rocket, I can't wait to play Rocket this season. He's going to be really fun. Now his ultimate is going to, you're going to see the value from his ultimate, and it's going to feel so good, guys. It's going to feel so good. Woo. That might be like one of the top teamfight ultimates coming up now. I'm really thinking that's going to be a top teamfight ultimate. Then the shielding's a game changer. Oh my God. Now let's talk about the team ups real quick and wrap up this video. New Arcane Order, Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch. The mystical duo is set to enhance their powers. As team up anchor, Doctor Strange gets a maximum health increase of 100, so he's going to get that extra bonus health. Scarlet Witch unlocks a new magical burst ability through her team up with Doctor Strange, so she'll get an extra damaging ability. Stars align, classic partnership now added. Team up anchor, Captain America gains max health increased to 100 with 5% damage output, if you understood a word of that. Basically, he's always going to have 100% extra health, like I said earlier, and the 5% damage boost. And he's got a combo with Winter Soldier that he can use to do some damage to enemies. He jumps to Winter Soldier, and Winter Soldier punches his shield and does like an AoE damage. It's pretty cool. And then there's going to be this projection as Emma Frost is the new main hero for the anchor. With like a Magneto, and they can clone themselves. I don't know exactly what those clones do, but they can clone themselves. And then they took out Amma Overlord from Winter Soldier. Chilling Charisma is no longer with Namor. There's going to be no more Frost slowing turrets. Instead, Namor's team up is going to move to the Gamma Charge with Strange and Namor. So now he's going to have a Maelstrom Gamma Charge turret, which is kind of wild. Yeah, it's wild. Now it's Hulk, Doctor Strange, Namor, and the Gamma Charge. And I think they took Iron Man out of this. I don't see Iron Man here. Oh, wow. That's wild. And then Dimensional Shortcut. Psylocke is no longer in the Dimensional Shortcut now. It's just Magic. Yeah. Yeah, so he doesn't get the team up anymore. So now it's just Magic and Black Panther for the team up. And then Metallic Chaos. We lost the sword for Magneto. Sorry, guys. And then Voltaic Union is no longer in the game. So no more Electric Cap Shields and no more Storm Lightning ability that like nobody used. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Please leave a like. We've been struggling on the channel. Like the algorithm hates me now. My videos are not getting pushed out there and nobody's seeing them and they're not getting no views. So if you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button, help your boy out, the Texan Shield. Comment down below, what change are you most excited about? What change are you dreading? I want to hear about it in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. Have an amazing day, fam. Don't forget to smile. Bye.